Maestro Umut Aral, a title which he fully deserves, is not your average Disney director. He describes himself humbly as a storyteller, but he is in fact the globally recognized and multiple award-winning creator of stunning visual experiences across different genres and media. His work includes films, documentaries, commercials, music videos, TV series, viral videos, flash mobs, interactive videos, 360 and hologram videos. Born in Turkey, he was educated in French and American schools, whose languages he masters fluently. His passion for filmmaking started as a child, when his mother took him to the cinema and his father gave him his first camera. During university, he directed, produced, wrote, and acted in musical and theatrical plays, something he claims has helped him a great deal in empathizing with the talented actors he gets to work with. Maestro Umut Aral is a bold pioneer in his field. He participated in the first digital platform TV series in Turkey, Yedi for Blue TV. He was the lead director of the first Netflix original series and the first superhero saga in Turkey, Hakan Muhafız, or The Protector. And he created the first movie about esport, İyi Oyun, or The Good Game, which is currently available on iTunes. The role that he is perhaps most proud of, however, is that of educator and philanthropist. As chairman of the Mithat Alam Educational Foundation and Film Center, named after his artistic mentor, he actively contributes to educating the next generations of Turkish filmmakers and promotes the cinematic arts to the general public. On July 2nd, we sat down with Umut Aral for an interview across 2 continents and 1 ocean. He generously spent more than 1 hour answering our questions during a most pleasant conversation in English, which spanned from black and white Turkish superhero comics of the 1960s to the arcane world of esports. In this first edited video from our conversation, Maestro Aral covered virtually all aspects of The Protector, including working with the talented Çağatay Ulusoy. While he was careful not to give away any spoilers on the upcoming 4th season of The Protector, he did, however, hint that all the fan questions about Harun, the Immortals, the Zaykan romance, and other topics will receive satisfactory answers, and encouraged all to just wait for it. The richness and clarity with which he came across during the interview point to his remarkable talent as an all-around communicator. We hope that you will enjoy listening to his thoughtful insights as much as we did.
I mean, I was there since the beginning, and I was trying to be on the set, even though it wasn't my episodes. Like we were working with a couple of directors. There are lots of creative and wonderful person who also contributed in the journey of The Protector. So yeah, I consider myself lucky to be a part of this family, and I've tried to put my best while they're writing the scripts, coming up with some ideas, sharing some scenes. Why don't we go this way? Why don't we try this way? And yeah, I mean, just it's a teamwork. We want to recreate this superhero genre as well in Turkey. That was a challenge. It was a first in Turkey, honestly. Yeah, in 60s, 70s, we had this kind of adventure genre filmmaking there was this kind of anti-hero called Killing. Like, I mean, I'm talking about black and white eras, but since then we didn't have any superheroes, superpowers, that kind of legendary kind of stories. So that was a first, and it was honestly a big challenge. So we wanted to make almost everything original,
Mhm.
and then try a new way of storytelling. That's why we wanted to have, since the beginning, that was totally intentional, to have strong female characters. Yeah, we're in the 21st century, and we need strong female characters right now,
Mhm.
because I mean, sadly, the movie making business, and also the stories are mostly about men, and I mean, their ambitions, their dreams, and but in life it's not like that. In life
Mhm.
everything is 50-50. So I mean, just we're hearing lots of strong women who are in the politics, who are in the physics, like science, and education and sports. So and even in Turkey as well. So and I mean, just I'm really happy to be born in this country who gave the rights to the woman way earlier than European countries. The rights to for the elections, the common rights, the mutual rights with men and everything. So I mean, just as being a citizen of this country, and I'm talking on behalf of my team as well. We always wanted to tell strong female character stories.
Mhm.
That's why Zeynep is strong. That's why Ria is strong, and Nisan is strong. Like, they know what they want. They are after that. Even they are evil or good, no matter what, they are really fighting really hard. Throughout the series, I mean, just he's a guy who doesn't want to just mention it a lot, but he knew a lot. I mean, just he read a lot about Faisal. He's an ambitious kid, and
Mhm.
he educated himself probably, but
Yeah.
he reads a lot. And I mean, just I know that in the fourth season as well, you're gonna see that he knows most of the stories. The other stories, you don't. I mean, you don't expect to see such a male character, like who's just changing his mind and just changing partners and stuff like that. So yeah, we wanted to create a character like that. I know that lots of fans are got really angry about like how he cheated on Zaynep, and then as a revenge Zaynep cheated on him, and they got suddenly jealous. But I mean, that's the beauty of it. He was Hakan when I met him. He was, I mean, that he was on board before me, and he knew the scripts, and he prepared himself a lot to bring out young adult, but totally childish, like you mentioned, street smart,
Mhm.
learned everything from Grand Bazaar, and who has his own ambitions and goals in life. So he was there, like, I mean, just he was totally into the character. And since the beginning, like we said, like, okay, you know what, let's try to be as real as possible. I mean, just let's because like, if it was an American superhero movie, the character change would have been more sudden, you know. I mean, just for example, like Peter Parker, he got bitten by a spider, and just he says like, okay, I'm Spider-Man, and then starts throwing web all around the places. And for a Turkish person, I mean, you should first convince yourself. I mean, first reject it, like just no, I'm not there, like I'm not that hero. and then afterwards, like bit by bit, absorb it. And Çağatay was really good at it, and he also wanted to push the character to the limits, and that's why I mean the third season script helped him a lot, and he also added a lot. Like say he said like I mean this guy, okay, so he rejected it, and then he became a hero, but let's put him on the edge right now. Okay,
Right.
so yeah, and what happens to him is that like he thinks that he is becoming a hero, but he's going through a big plot created by Nissan. He was there, and he wanted to push the limits of an actor as well by putting on this makeup 2.5 hours in the heat. I mean, just he came up with this idea. Why don't I play the first protector? So change the course of the story as well by deciding on it. Like it was just an image in the first season, but then on the third season, it became a character, and in the fourth season, he was great at it. And in addition to that, we had this mirror image, this evil mirror thing, like, and he also added a lot because like we first created the Vezir character with Funda, and then just made rehearsals with her. Then we recorded it. Then afterwards, Çağatay watched it and I mean learned the mimics, and he acted according to that. Like he was acting as Vezir, and he's a wonderful contributor, and he is there. He owns the show, and he carries it on his shoulders, and I'm really curious to make great stuff again with him, create new stories and new characters with him. I mean, this is the first Turkish language Netflix original series. I mean, if you want to tell a story, it should appeal everyone around the world. That's why we started up working on the project as an international team. As mentioned, our executive directors, our script writers, they've been coming from United States, England, and different countries. So we got together to create an international story. And the way the story was structured by Jason George, who works for wonderful shows with Netflix. Recently, he just made Into the Night. Netflix and all the executives working in Netflix, they already knew how to appeal the world audience. We already knew what to bring them as original stuff, because like they never worked in Turkey. They know the Turkish stories, they know the Turkish series a lot, but making an original was something else, because they wanted to create a Netflix original, but with a taste and look and I mean just a different storytelling of the Turkey and the Turkish people. For us, as the creators of The Protector, it was a shock the moment that we started receiving some reactions throughout the world once the first season has been released. And we knew that, I mean, the fans of Çağatay and we knew the fans of Turkish series from South America, for example, or Middle Eastern is going to react to it, which happened. But having reactions from Australia, Canada, France, I mean, just these are countries where not, I mean, you don't have lots of Turkish citizens living there. So it went up to number 6 in UK. Unbelievable. I mean, just, yeah. And so we had like great, unbelievable reactions throughout the world. And that's why we just came to the 4th season. It's obvious that the fans loved it, and they support helped us to tell the story more and come to the 4th season, which is a big success for a Turkish language show, even in Netflix platform. I mean, since very first moment of the release, we had uh, awesome reactions, great reactions, good reactions, and
Mm-hmm.
also bad reactions as well, which we took seriously
Mm-hmm.
to understand what we are doing right or wrong. Because, as I told you, it was a first of its genre, and I want to be in this project particularly to be able to make a superhero. Okay, that's obvious. Let's put
Mm-hmm.
this aside, but also to open new doors for newcomers and script writers or creators who wanted to do this genre and couldn't find any producer to make it happen, or couldn't convince any TV channel executives, because like before the Protector, uh, I mean, there wasn't any fantasy or superhero series
Mm-hmm.
before that. But right now, I can see that free TV channels, they are starting like developing that genre pieces, and even Turkish movie makers, they started reading scripts, developing that kind of scripts, or even producing that genre. So I can see that there's a change in that, and because like we were so I mean we were producing lots of dramas, lots of comedies, but we were kind of stuck in that couple of genres. So this broadened our vision, and it just added, I mean, just a variety to the filmmaking in Turkey and in Turkish language. Just
Wow.
we made a great success, and we honestly learned a lot from our viewers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that some of the viewers are, especially Turkish ones, complained a lot about the second season.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't that happy, and they said like it wasn't that well constructed. We took those comments really seriously. That's why we came up with a strong third season. And,
Yes.
when I saw that on Twitter, like some funny tweets, I mean, not funny tweets, but these are the real feelings of the viewers. They said like, "Oh, we said a lot of bad things on the second season, but third season, it's a good one. Like I loved it." And I said like, "Okay, we just gaining back those viewers as well."
Right.
Because like we wanted to, I mean, just impress the people throughout the world, and show the world that we can do great stuff if we have the resources in hand. Yeah, it's a bit derived from the original story, but there are lots of other things as well, like were different from the original story.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've read the first book, and I really like the idea to gain superpowers throughout a talismanic shirt. But then afterwards we went to our own path. I mean, the book's path is amazing, but I mean the series path is also amazing. Like I wouldn't compare two of them. Right, the escape scene from Asylum. I mean, that's a great behind the scenes anecdote as well. Like I'd like to share it with you and with all the fans. The crew didn't know that I was going to blend in to all these crazy people. I mean, there was like extras who are pretending to be crazy people, of course. And I just give directions to the camera. I just gave directions to Engin, who was acting as Levent, the brother of Hakan, and Çağatay was tied up, so he didn't know anything. So then, and I said like, okay, you get prepared and let's go and roll the camera and say action within like, I don't know, 2 minutes. But within this 2 minutes, I put on myself, like I changed my outfit, just played with my hair and stuff, made it a little bit crazy. outfit, and so then they were like pushing the bed and with the camera on top of it fixed, and then suddenly I jumped in, and I also told him, no matter what happens, please don't stop acting, okay? And suddenly I jumped in and tried to just grab Engin, and he just looked at me and pushed me away, and I just fell down. And until the very last moment, we didn't say cut. I didn't say cut, and they just left the corridor, and I say cut, and all the crew rushed in because they thought that I just uh, felt like I injured myself, but that was like fake. I was just acting. It's great to meet you all throughout this video call that we made with wonderful Paula. She's well prepared, like asking great questions.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for that, and thanks a lot for your support and great wishes. And I hope that we'll end this saga with a great fourth season and meet you all somehow within different stories, with new characters, with new surprises in the future. Just if the fans are interested in my work, to explore more about my work and more about video games, esports, that wonderful new world, they can just search Good Game on iTunes platform and then enjoy the film.